Don't touch that dial, adjust those bunny ears, because what time is it, Jay?
Na 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 na.
No!
Na 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 na.
I wonder what's on the tube.
Welcome back.
Thank you for being a friend.
What you talking about, Willis?
You are a meathead.
Nothing for you.
Welcome to Nick's Got a New Favorite Show. This is Sitcom My Face. I'm Jay Bidwell.
I'm Nick.
That's my buddy Nick Franco. How we doing tonight, my friend?
Oh, I'm fine and dandy.
Dude, I actually found something out real sad yesterday.
Oh, no.
Frankie Muniz, you know he's a race car driver now?
Oh, that I had heard, yeah.
He was racing right down the damn road the other night.
Oh, shit.
And I didn't know. I would have gone and seen his ass. That would have been fun.
Oh, that's cool.
They wrote an article. I don't know if he won, but they wrote milk him in the front instead of milk in the middle. I think he might have won the damn race.
Holy crap. Oh, yeah, well,
Shit.
You know what? We're just going to have to get him on as a guest and not talk Malcolm in the Middle at all, just talk race car driving. That's
I saw him, I think it was on Steve-O's show. He's actually, I guess he's got some weird memory thing where he doesn't even remember Malcolm in the Middle much at all.
Oh, shit. Okay.
I don't know if it was brain damage or just...
He's the anti-Mary Lou Henner.
They're like, who? Yeah. Yeah. They're like, who the fuck is Malcolm? Oh, that was me. Oh, that's right. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, again, we'll have him on talk about his, his racing days now. We'll call it Sitcom My Race.
Hey!
There we go.
Da-da-da. Na, 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 na. All right,
Don't make me choke!
Well, there's a little clue in case you couldn't read the title. What show are we talking about this episode, my friend? Well, you still are my friend, right?
Yeah.
After I chose this show to make us watch.
Debating it, but we're going with our first teen sitcom, Clarissa Explains It All.
Just do it.
From Nick, yeah, from Nickelodeon Studios.
Yeah, shot down Universal Studios Florida at
Correct.
Nickelodeon Studios.
Yes,
not there anymore.
Pointed
I
out
remember
at the end of every episode.
You're a little older than me, though. I remember those days watching all those Nickelodeon shows, this one included, and being like, I want to go to Nickelodeon Studios at Universal. But never got to before they tore it down, and I don't know where the hell Nickelodeon does their shit anymore, but it's certainly at Universal Studios.
I'm guessing somewhere in California. I don't know. That seems to be the place.
They had a building in LA for a while, but I don't think it was like a fun bring the kids type situation.
No, probably not.
It was a bunch of corporate guys in suits diddling kids. I mean, making children's shows. Well, just that one, but we already covered that show. Anyway, yeah, so this is a show.
Tune into our Head of the Class episode. No,
this show ran for five seasons, depending on who you ask, apparently, on Nickelodeon.
Yeah. And how many episodes? Yeah, also, depending on who you ask.
I've seen 64, 66, and 65, somewhere in there, so I don't know. It ran from 91 to 94, which is only 4 years. 5 seasons. Maybe 13 each or somewhere close to it.
Yeah, it's kind of weird because, like, when I look online, like, if you look from the Wikipedia end of it, you actually get 5 seasons of 13. So, which would be 65 episodes.
And then Paramount Plus says first season's like 20 second season's 4. And then I think the rest are 13 on there, if I remember right.
I think so. Yeah, and again, as when we were watching, it's okay, so 20 and 4, like, wait, there's missing episodes.
Yeah, and then I watched the podcast, a few bits from Clarissa herself, Melissa Joan Hart, talking about her time on the show, and she goes, it was 4 seasons, 13 episodes each. So I don't think anyone fucking knows how many actual episodes of this are.
This is one of the mysteries of the universe.
And IMDb even had 5 seasons listed, and then it had like random section or something. And it had one extra episode, which wasn't even the one you would think, because there's like a sequel series we'll kind of discuss a little bit.
Yeah.
So it's kind of 2 episodes, but that's not even listed there. It's listed as a different thing. Who fucking knows?
Yeah,
But-
exactly. Yeah, this is again one of the mysteries of the universe. Who the pyramids, like ancient aliens and all this shit. And oh yeah, how many seasons and episodes are there of Clarissa Explains It All? Somebody explain it to us.
It's right up there with how many hemorrhoids have to pop before you bleed to death. Find out.
A 2, a 3. No, oh sorry.
That's probably an experiment Nick would rather have been doing than watching Clarissa Explains It All.
Again, I'll try to be nice. Again,
What's our age gap here? I'm 36. How old are you again?
52, going to be 53 this year.
So we do have a gap here. This is a show that I actually remembered really loving as a kid. I will say that trying to revisit it was not all that it was cracked up to be.
Right.
Especially there in them early episodes where the production values were just shit. Like,
oh, very much so.
There was boom mics and just weird anomalies in the way that it was shot.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, I wanted to ask you this last time, but I forgot.
What's that?
Tell me, how are you watching Paramount Plus when you watch these? Are you watching it on an app, like on your TV or on your computer, or what?
Yeah, I'm watching. I have a Roku, so I watch it on the TV.
When you watch the app on your Roku, does the aspect ratios get all fucked up back and forth sometimes for you?
I'm trying to remember if it had gotten messed up from the prior one we watched.
Mine was doing it for Taxi and this when I watched it on my TV app. But when I watch it on my phone or my computer, it's fine. And it's only for things that are shot full screen. They have a tendency to bounce between aspect ratios, like it's not sure what to do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So-
I definitely saw it in the watching of Taxi. On this one, like, I didn't necessarily notice because I was, trying to keep my focus, had the toothpicks in the eyes,
Among other places.
It's like doing a Clockwork Orange to myself.
A Clockwork Orange?
No, clock.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, the other one was I think the porn version. But anyway,
that would be a horrible porn parody.
Yeah.
Dear God.
Don't
Dear
want to see
God.
that one.
God.
I've seen the regular movie. Do not want to see that turned into something else.
Well, this is your introduction to Clarissa. Did she? How did she do explaining it all to you?
I guess she did a serviceable job. Well, okay. Let's get this out of the way. As you said, there's an age gap between us. When I was younger, in my teens and adolescent days, there was no such thing as a teen sitcom.
Mm-hmm. And
It
she
came
is actually,
later
as we
in
said,
my life. So
she is aged in between us. So I was younger,
Yes.
looking up, and like I said, I had a crush on her when I was 10 years younger. I was like, oh, cute teen blonde girl, and that's probably why I was watching this. I'm sure I wasn't watching it for the extreme comedic value at that point.
No. Again, like I saw her on Sabrina the Teenage Witch. So
Okay, that's where you
that's
were
how
first
I
introduced to
remember
her?
Melissa Joan Hart.
In her little podcast, she did mention that this was like the last thing she ever had to audition for, because everything she did after this, it established her so well that her and her mom basically wrote and produced everything she ever did after this.
Gotcha. Yeah.
So this really did make her a household name, I think, as a child actress. And I think that, honestly, even looking back at it, she's a pretty good little actress for
yes. Again.
Nickelodeon's first lead female.
Yeah, and again, given the production values, given the material that was given to the actresses, yeah, she did actually a great job. It's very noticeable how good she is. But here's the thing. There's not much of a rest of the cast. So, there's...
Well, I think the family gets quite a bit of time. The parents and the brother.
The family. But, okay, mom, dad, brother.
Mm-hmm.
And
Sam, the friend.
And then Sam, the friend. Mm-hmm. Those are the constants everybody else is like, like there are people that have been on 1-2 episodes, or one that was on like 5 episodes, but that's it. Like there's no constant. Oh, okay, and here's this returning character has been on this whole season, or
why don't you introduce us to
that.
the cast, the family, real quick?
Okay, so Melissa Joan Hart plays Clarissa Darling. Her mom is played, what's her name? Janet Darling is played by Elizabeth Hess. She was on Law and Order a few episodes, but what I saw mainly, she was a stage actress.
Okay. Well, that actually they give in a lot of storylines they give her character that background too.
The dad is Marshall Darling, played by Joe O'Connor.
One of the most chill TV dads I've ever seen, to be honest.
Yeah, very.
He's very normal, very laid back, very like average dude.
Now, one of the funny things that I saw was that he actually shows up on an episode of Sabrina the Teenage Witch.
Yeah.
Apparently, his resume goes back to like the late 70s. He was on.
He seemed to have quite a few things. Yeah.
Yeah. Emergency. I remember that show, but he's been on like The Practice, Melrose Place, Boston Public. Yeah, he's made his way around, but it seems what it was like a main role for him, those didn't seem to either last very long or it's like he was Mr. Drysdale on Apple Valley Nights, but yeah,
I fucking love that show. I don't know what that is.
Yeah, I don't know either. But yeah,
we've all had a few Apple Valley Nights, if you know what I'm saying.
Of the family, he shows up in a lot of other shows.
Yeah,
but mainly like one episode or so.
This is the only thing I really recognize him from. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's go to the brother, Ferguson. Yes, Fergface.
Yeah.
Ferguson is played
this
by.
This is about it for him, ain't it?
Yeah, Jason Zimbler. He basically, he was on this show. And he was on
every other probably Nickelodeon game show, right?
There was another show called The Edge of Night. Was a mystery crime series that he was on.
What tends to happen with a lot of these child stars from Disney and Nickelodeon, they do the one big show that they were part of, and then they do all the little other network shows that are, probably on your Guts and your Double Dare or whatever the fuck,
Yeah, in fact, Mark Summers, speaking of, and let's see, what was it? Danny Cooksey and Michael Morona. They were on a show, music video for the song All My Friends. So like these former Nickelodeon stars.
There might have even been an episode of this where they go on Double Dare. Is that right?
No,
vaguely remember that.
Different game show. That was Brain Drain. I watched that one, and that's what it
Mark
felt
Summers.
like I had.
Mark Summers is actually in one of my favorite talk show moments of all time. You know what I'm talking about?
No, I don't remember that. But
he was on Jay Leno's Tonight Show as the second guest after Burt Reynolds, and I don't know what the fuck happened before the interview, but Burt Reynolds and him fucking hated each other.
Oh my God.
And it got to the point where Jay kept trying to calm the situation, but they just kept going back and forth. And I think one of them throws his water on the other one, then they throw their fucking water on the other one. And Jay goes, "Can we get some pies out here?" Like trying to lighten the mood. And fucking Burt Reynolds takes this tin full of like whipped cream as like a Three Stooges pie.
Exactly.
And fucking hits him so fucking hard in the face that you can tell his face is like hurt.
Ow.
And then Burt Reynolds and him just go back and forth. Bam, bam, bam. Just fucking pieing each other in the face. But basically open palm punching each other.
Wow.
It's fucking awkward. And you can tell Leno's like, I don't know what the fuck to do here. Let's go to commercial,
My God.
It was fucking awkward.
But getting back to Mr. Zimbler here, it seems like he also took a little more of the theater route, because not only did he star in some, he was in Shenandoah, but he also directed and assisted theater productions in NYC.
What was the mom's job? Was she a teacher or something?
She worked, what was it? A children's, not a daycare. What the frig was it? Children's museum. That's what it was. Yeah, museum.
Oh, right. Yep.
Yeah, but she was also like very like into the environment, and what threw me off was she was very into organic food and always like putting tofu in everything. I thought at
She
first
was ahead of the game, huh?
yeah, but I thought at first she was like a vegetarian, but it's no, because like other times they're eating meat, but she's just throwing tofu into it.
It seemed more like she was okay with like making meat for the hubby, but it seemed like she ate kind of the vegan or whatever.
Yeah.
Because they even mentioned it in that final episode when she's like, "Oh, going off to college," and she's like, "Yeah, you're not gonna miss my tofu shit anymore, right?" You know,
Right.
"Oh, you're gonna have to live on burgers and pizza." "Oh no, what am I gonna do?" The mom was a bit. You know what's funny? The mom's pretty fucking sexist on this show toward women. She's more like the stay in your lane, bitch type of mom.
Which is kind of weird, yeah.
It is kind of weird. Because even she talks about her past a lot. Like, you know, I always, you know, went to the beat of my own drum and kind of shit. But at the same time, stifling her daughter and being like, you don't want to be ridiculed and this and that. And like, what?
Yeah,
She even has a line about her old dancer friend. Did you see that one? She's talking about some old dancer friend of hers. And she goes, I can't believe she's still dancing. I thought by now she'd be a dental hygienist or a stewardess. And I was like,
Damn.
what the fuck?
Wow.
Not even a dentist or a pilot? You fucking sexist
Yeah.
bitch. You know that old joke, the old sexist test, right? With the injured, a father takes his son out
Oh, yeah.
and they get injured. The father dies and the son is rushed to the hospital, and the surgeon comes in and says, I cannot operate on this child. He is my son.
My son.
How is this possible? And everyone's
The
like,
mother. Yeah.
well, that's weird. Yeah, the answer is it's the mother, you fucking sexist pig. No
Exactly.
one assumes that a woman could be a surgeon. That's actually a fun one to do on random people who don't. They go, what? Is he adopted? No, motherfucker.
But going back to the character, though, of Janet Darling, did you know, like, there was an unaired pilot where she was played by a different actress, Nancy Youngblood?
Do we know her from anything? Is she famous?
Let's see.
She was an X-Man.
No, she basically was in just, like, single episodes of, like, Bones, ER, CSI, Star Trek Deep Space Nine. But, yeah, nothing of, like, oh, okay, you know.
She was the only one that was recast when the show aired?
That's what it looks like. And then the last recurring person, not
Sam?
part of the family, but Sam. Now, what's strange about how Sam always makes his entrance and exit?
Do you think if there wasn't a guitar riff, the universe wouldn't let him enter that window?
I think so. Yeah, like it's kind of like, you know, with a vampire, you got to invite him in or whatever. Yeah, with Sam, there's got to be a guitar riff before he enters.
You're up in her room a lot. Actually, her room is a really cool set. I remember as a kid always being like, damn, that's a cool ass room. It's like colorful. It's got cool shit. Always really cool computer animation type shit, games going on.
Yep.
But yeah, a ladder always hits the fucking windowsill.
Yep.
And you see Sam climb up, and there's that fucking little guitar riff they do every time.
Damn.
Apparently that ladder was only 3 rungs though, because the set was very short. So they mentioned that he was always laying down outside the window to pretend to climb up.
Oh my God.
And she goes, sometimes I would have 10 pages of monologue to the fucking
and
camera.
he's waiting there.
And he's just laying there on the studio floor. Come on, bitch. Hurry
It's like,
up.
come on. It's like, I can't get up. Yeah, and Sam comes from a family where the mama's left and his dad is a sports writer.
Yeah. And she admires that a lot about his dad because she wants to be a writer. That's a big part of her thing. She wants to be a journalist. She wants to be Jane Pauley. She mentioned several times she wants to be Jane Pauley.
Again, maybe not something that, like necessarily registered with the kids watching this.
I don't. Back then, maybe. I mean,
well, I love also one of her dreams there. Basically, she's Murphy Brown. It's like,
oh yeah,
again, real popular with the kids.
I wrote down, I think the best part of the show is kind of the parodies they do. Like the Murphy Brown, the same episode I think had That Girl. She does a This Girl parody.
Yeah. Again, we're talking about a sitcom from the 60s?
They do a whole segment where she's Sally Jesse Raphael. Did you see that one?
No, I didn't see that one.
They do a whole fucking episode, or like a third of an episode, where she's Sally Jesse Raphael on the set pretending to be her. And then on the blind date one, I really liked, and you're a Universal Monsters guy, they do a pretty interesting black and white, real moody, foggy,
cool.
Universal Monsters type segment where the blind date shows up and it's the nerd like, I'm ready for our date. And she's like, and it's all black and white.
Oh my God.
It's got the fog rolling through and it's cut into the shadows on the wall.
Sweet.
And it was actually pretty well shot, like really cool looking.
Yeah. So definitely a good homage to the Universal Monsters.
And it was called like Blind Date from Hell, and it had like the shaky letters, it was kind of shit like that.
Yeah, it just like a little aside going on that. If you like that whole old Universal Monsters thing, they had a thing on the Disney Plus, Werewolf by Night. Check it out. It has all the sensibilities of an old Universal Monster thing. Yeah, the guy that created directed and wrote the thing. He's from Jersey. Michael Guadino.
She did have down perfect the Universal damsel who just throws their hands in front of their face and goes,
God.
and falls over every 2 steps,
Sweet.
And then usually they faint,
Mm-hmm.
Just fall out. Yeah. You watch old movies, you go, Jesus Christ, people faint easy. I've never seen a fucking person faint in my life, I don't think. Well, maybe once.
Oh, I fainted before, so.
Yeah.
But let's see. So again, those are our main characters. I guess the main setup is she is explaining everything going on to the audience. Doing the break the fourth wall thing there. And
well, it's funny that a show like this even caught flack back in the day because how can you put a teen girl on TV talking back to her parents? That's unheard of. I'm sorry, what? You ever lived with a fucking teen girl? They're fucking horrible. I had to live with 2 of them for a year and I wanted to cut my own fucking wrists.
Oh,
Jesus. No. What is it? What's the
Noir?
The drawing on the screen?
Oh, okay, that.
I kind of like that. It's almost like a Madden doing football calls or something.
Yeah. Yeah, like a telestrator, they call it.
Yeah. And apparently that was a very expensive machine back in the day.
Oh,
and
I'm sure.
I guess a lot of their budget probably went to that.
Yeah,
like.
in the early days, that was the whole budget.
And they showed a picture of it, and it was fucking huge. Like,
oh, I'm sure it was.
It was fucking huge.
For the equipment back in that day, as you said, something John Madden in football would be using. Yeah, I think that was, like a very large, cumbersome piece of equipment.
Yeah, your creator you were talking about. That guy is named Mitchell Kriegman. Is that how you pronounce it?
Yeah, Kriegman.
Apparently also created Bear in the Big Blue House, the children's show, which has had legs. It's been forever. Yeah, it's been around a while. Someone told him, I guess, that he had to come up with some arbitrary rules when he created this show and became the showrunner. So I guess one of their weird rules was that he said, no purple. I don't want to see any purple on this damn show.
Wow. Okay, I did not know. And don't worry, I'm not going back to watch all the rest of the show episodes to see if there's any purple.
He also will not tell anyone where the name Clarissa came from. I guess he gets asked that all the time. Mm-hmm. And I saw a little YouTube interview with him. And he said that he got the name from someplace that he will never divulge, and he's never even divulged it to Melissa Joan Hart. Which makes me think like ex-girlfriend or a hooker he murdered. One of the two. I don't know.
Or both.
Yeah.
Apparently he also released a novel in 2015, Things I Can't Explain, which actually is kind of a sequel, sort of, to the series.
I think wasn't her autobiography even named like Melissa Explains It All or something?
I believe so.
Yeah. Yeah, they hung a lot of hats on this one.
Yeah. And in 2018, they said that there's actually going to be a sequel to the series.
She's been talking about it for years, but I don't think anything's officially planned. Last interview I saw, at least the most recent one, she said, I think it was 10 months ago on the YouTube clip, it was like, we haven't found the right way to do it yet.
Yeah, well, like in 2022, I read that she basically said the reboot was not moving forward at the network.
Are you heartbroken?
No, I just had, like a chili dog, so it's all right.
Well, and that's the thing is I've talked about it with other shows like the Girl Meets World reboot of Boy Meets World or
right.
Fuller House. I don't quite understand when you make a remake of a show that was for children, why the fuck are you still making the remake geared at children? Make the reboot geared at the people who are now adults that once loved that show as a child.
Exactly.
I think that's the number one fucking problem they keep doing. It makes no sense to me.
Yeah. Yeah, you could do every once in a while, like, something silly, like a little nod or something to the childishness or whatever of the original show or something. But, yeah, if you're doing it for the people that watched it back then, why the hell would you...
They're basically making it for the children of the original fans. Who it's like, those kids don't give a fuck. What do they care about Full House or Boy Meets World? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Jesus. And I feel like that's probably what they were trying to do with this shit too. And if it does happen, I guarantee it's going to be her daughter's the lead and it's going to be all about her daughter explaining it all. And she's going to be the hip mom or some bullshit. You know what I mean?
Well, apparently back in 2015 when he did that novel, it's supposed to be like Clarissa in her 20s, like late 20s, trying to navigate life now as an adult. We did have some, like slightly recurring characters. Like I saw the one with Aunt Mafalda, which do you know anyone named Mafalda?
I bet you on Sabrina the Teenage Witch there was a Mafalda.
Well, that would make more sense, but
yeah,
it's like I've never heard that name before. But it's her aunt from Canada. That like that what is into seances and ghosts and things such as that, and basically has like a death grip, like a vice grip when she hugs and squeezes her cheeks.
I just heard children outside my window.
Uh-oh.
I don't know if I'm being haunted or there's someone in my yard.
Uh-oh. Maybe it's like someone heard that we're talking about Clarissa Explains It All.
You talked about the musical references. So she talks about Pearl Jam. There's a whole episode where she wants to go like a Pearl Jam concert, right?
Yep. Also, like Melissa Joan Hart's favorite group back then was also was it They Might Be Giants?
Yes, who we have discussed they did the theme song for what show?
Big Bang Theory. Oh, no, that's Bare Naked Ladies. They Might Be Giants did the one for Raising Hope. No. Wait, who was it? No.
There is a connection to Raising Hope. They did the Oblongs theme.
Oblongs. Oh, Oblongs. Yeah, that's right.
But they also did Istanbul, which was used a couple times in Raising Hope.
Yes. That's
when Grandma's doing the Jenga shit when Cloris Leachman. But funny enough, there's another connection because Shannon Woodward, who was Sabrina, not the Teenage Witch Sabrina, but she was Sabrina on Raising Hope, was in 3 episodes of this.
Yeah, as Missy.
Mm-hmm. You had a few people before they were big. James Vanderbeek was on an episode. Michelle Trachtenberg.
Yeah.
Joanna Garcia, who we actually discussed on the Freaks and Geeks episode, as Vicky in 5 episodes.
Yeah, and one of the ones that made me happy all of a sudden, it was the episode where Sabrina is now the editor at the school newspaper. Different local pizza parlors are bringing her free pizza. It's like, oh, put in, how good our pizza is. And the second delivery guy, freaking Wayne Brady.
Mm-hmm. He's not the only cast member of Whose Line Is It Anyway who was on this show. Jonathan Mangum was also in several episodes.
Oh, right. Yeah.
He was on also, I think, the second variation of Whose Line Is It Anyway? But yeah, he was on there with Wayne Brady. So
yeah. Yeah, so, yeah, that was pleasant to see him. See, I said pleasant. And well, let's get into
Wayne
the meat
Brady
of the thing.
gonna have to choke a bitch?
Let's
Wayne Brady, please choke a bitch.
Okay, let's get into the meat of this thing here. Well,
all right.
All right. Now,
Just do it.
Oh,
You have an orgasm over there?
no. I think it's an epileptic seizure.
Sit up straight, Nick. I can only see your fucking forehead. Jesus.
There we go.
Killian's on camera more than you are. Tickle his butthole. Look at that. There you go.
But anyway, yes, this was a teen sitcom, and the writing as such was geared to that.
Honestly, I watched 2 per season. And I think, honestly, it did get better as it went on. I think
It did get
I think
better.
maybe they learned how to write for her a little better. And they actually, I think what did help too is that when Ferguson got a little older,
Yeah.
he wasn't just the precocious little ginger asshole.
Mm-hmm.
He kind of got more stories in, but
Yeah.
this is a very anticlimactic show. And I think that's a budgetary thing, because a lot of times the stories are building up to a conflict that you never see really see payoff. You hear about. What other show we talk about that on? Was it on Too Close for Comfort, right?
I think so, yeah.
Where, like, the whole episode's about her, oh, I didn't learn my lines for this play, and then you get to the play, and it cuts to the end of the play,
Yeah.
and it's over. Like, oh, wow, I can't believe you pulled it off. And you're like, wait, what?
Yeah, we didn't get to see any of the, it's like,
Yeah, you go,
okay.
what? Whereas I Love Lucy, that would have been the whole third act of
Right.
her on stage, crazy funny. This doesn't do that.
This is very far from I Love Lucy.
Right. Well, I'm just saying, for instance, the motorcycle episode, there's the whole episode is about, like, I want to get on that motorcycle and drive this motorcycle.
And what does she
then
do?
She gets on the motorcycle and goes, you know what? This is a bad idea. And then,
No, hold on. Yeah, like, you gotta, set the scene, though. She's in the garage.
yeah.
She's got the motorcycle. She has basically turned it on, revved it.
And then he goes, nah.
Nah. This is a bad idea.
Cork.
Yeah.
Put a cork in it. You ain't coming today, my friend.
Yeah.
There's so many episodes like that, though, where, yeah.
And
You
I think
think-
that's one of the things that gets annoying to me.
And that's the difference that great sitcoms do, is and honestly, watching this, it's all on those same sets in the house, typically, mostly the bedroom, but a lot of the living room, the kitchen.
Yep.
Anytime you venture out, you really don't see much of the world, right?
Right.
But it seems like a lot of the stories build up to some exciting interaction with the world, but we never see that.
We do not.
I mean, I guess a lot of the story points are supposed to be in the conflict of what she wants to do versus what her mostly mother doesn't want her to do.
Mm-hmm.
Or her brother is tattling on her or something. But yeah, you never really get the payoff of what you are expecting to be the third act funny moment.
No, you do not.
A lot of times they just end. A lot of them just end with her looking at camera going, maybe next time. But
So here's the thing. You watching, you are now, how old?
36.
36? From when you first watched it, when we were saying maybe about 5?
Yeah, I would have been 4 or 5 when it first aired.
So, how do you view it now?
I can put on a little bit of the let's say mostly beer goggles, but rose-colored goggles. And I can remember how it made me feel as a kid, and I really did like it as a kid. I even probably learned a few things from this show. Like, they do talk, like you mentioned, they don't always talk about things that you think kids give a shit about.
Right.
This may have been how I learned about vinyl records. There's like an episode to talk about vinyl record. There's probably weird shit in here that I did learn from this show at a young age. Does it hold up for me? No. Humor-wise, no.
Oh, no.
But I can still see how, as a kid, I appreciated it. Almost more than Full House, honestly, because Full House... This isn't sappy like Full House was. Not as sappy, even.
Mm-hmm.
It's got lessons in it, but I almost feel like they're more realistic family dynamic lessons than they are cue the fucking harp music, right?
Oh, yeah, so, like, I'm seeing something about myself. It's like, yeah, because that was not one of my favorite shows when we watched. Again, I did not really watch back in the day Full House, and and watching it from now, an old grizzled adult here, when the sappy harp music comes on and that, it's like, oh, come on, give me a break.
Well, and I can see how this show influenced a lot of people, like even the fashion. I feel like as a 90s girl, I think you've seen a lot of girls dressing like her, acting like her. We mentioned before air. I'm curious to talk about Blossom, because I think this would be a great show to compare to Blossom when we get there.
Gotcha.
Blossom started 1 year earlier and ended 1 year later than this, so they're in the same vein. And I think, from what I remember, Blossom being a little older range.
Yes.
Like, during the show, at least, the character, probably the same age, I would think.
Yeah, around the same age.
But I do recall a few sex jokes on Blossom with Joey or something like that. But I haven't revisited that one in a long time either, so that'll be interesting to see. But yeah, I could see how this was a pretty influential show, and even looking at, like, we talked about the IMDb ratings, you said it was 7.18 for, like, fans, I think. Mm-hmm. It's got its fan base, and I understand it. And as a kid, I was a fan. In my head, I was more of a fan than I think I am looking back at it, but I don't know if this show was available for a long time to view either.
Probably not.
So,
well, either that or it was on one of the other spin-offs of Nickelodeon, how they had, what was it, like Teen Nick, what were the other things, like the animated stuff? It's like they broke
Nick
it into multiple channels.
Most of the shows we covered are on Nick at Night.
Nick at Night, yeah.
So technically, we've covered a lot of Nickelodeon shows if you count Nick at Night. But
oh, by the way, like here's a funny one, being that you have brought up Blossom a couple of times. Yeah, Melissa Joan Hart also went on to be on Melissa and Joey with Joey Lawrence.
I remember liking that show too, and that was later, because that one actually they were adults.
Yeah.
And they were dealing with a little more adult stuff.
2010, I think it was around.
Yeah, I remember catching a few of those, and I remember kind of liking it. Like, I did
not get to watch that one, so
it's a pretty. I think it was an ABC Family show, if I recall.
Oh, okay.
And I remember it's pretty, mundane, typical sitcom. And I do remember it jumping the shark when they start dating on there.
Oh, okay.
At least at first, it felt more of like an adversarial, I think. But the sexual tension builds, and you go too many seasons, and then they start fucking, and it all ruins it. But
yeah, I was surprised with this show with the character with Sam, because apparently I didn't watch it, but there was an episode where they realized like he broke up with some girl and realizes, well, that Clarissa would actually be the perfect girl for him, but I guess it just doesn't go well, and they don't want to ruin their friendship, something.
Well, that's one of the things I remember about this show, is that, a boy-girl friendship working.
It didn't do the usual trope.
Yeah.
You didn't follow your usual trope of, they just seem so perfect for each other. When are they gonna do it? And like I said, apparently there was one episode where I guess they decided to go on a date and realized, nah, let's not ruin this friendship. And they stayed friends. So it is a weird dynamic there.
But, you know, the first episode of this, it starts out kind of fucking dark and weird. When she's like, the whole first episode, she starts out with like, my brother's gotta die. And she has a whole plan to like murder her brother.
Right. But it's basically like she's
a
taking
Looney Tunes.
She's taking cartoon logic where it's like, okay, we're going to wrap him up in a straitjacket and then attach giant balloons, you know, like filled with helium to his back and he'll float away. And it's like, okay.
Yeah, so it goes from I want to murder my brother to at the end, oh, he got a zit. That's the same. That's a fair trade.
Yeah,
like,
okay. That'll do it. Ha-ha, got you.
He's got a pimple. I'll let him live. Fuck it. So yeah, you go, oh, that's kind of a strange, dark start for a family-friendly kids show on Nickelodeon. Although you don't remember, like, was it Snick was Snick the one where they would do like Friday nights, the weird, like, more adult shows? It was like, Are You Afraid of the Dark? And
I believe that was
all that and like a little bit. I remember Are You Afraid of the Dark?
Saturday Night Nickelodeon, apparently.
I remember Are You Afraid of the Dark having some pretty weird, fucked up episodes. It was like a kid's version of the Twilight Zone.
But like, I know people younger than me that did watch it and said, "Oh, it was actually really good." It's something that I might, tune in and actually, might.
It was kind of like your Goosebumps show, or your.
Okay.
It was like I think it was like a young Twilight Zone, where each episode was like a really fucking weird. Like they had the killer clown and the basement monster, and they'd have all kinds of weird fantasy shit like that. But I remember really loving that show as a kid too, so I wonder if that would hold up. But I don't know,
but I don't think that falls into the sitcom variety though, right?
Hey, I watch other shit besides this, all right?
I know. Same here. You see, you said Twilight Zone, like I was watching that the other night. So and in between watchings of this, I had to like cleanse by watching some Everybody Loves Raymond every once in a while. It's like, quick, turn on Nick at Night. Oh, everyone loves Raymond. Great.
They're like, Nick at Night's not starting for another hour. You have to watch an hour block of Clarissa explain. No!
Let me go back, though, to the one thing that I found kind of, like, creepy at the one point. When the creator of the show, Mitchell Kriegman, was casting the different people, and as we said, for Janet Darling, in the pilot, she was played by Nancy Youngblood, but then went to Elizabeth Hess. But apparently, he didn't want Hess to... don't use too much of her big range as an actress, because she was a stage actress. And basically, just to let you know, I cast you because you remind me of a sexy mom. It's like, alrighty.
Thanks. She's like, thanks. Like, the check's gonna clear, right?
Yeah, exactly.
She walked into the casting room. There's a big black couch. Ah, fuck. Not again.
No, it's one of those.
Well, the show ended with apparently good ratings, and they said the only reason they really ended it because she was getting older, and they didn't want to make it weird and make it a whole different show.
Right.
Which is why they talked about the sequel series was going to be her in New York working for the paper at an internship for some paper. Was it the Post or something in New York?
It was supposed to be the New York. What was it? The New York Daily Post or something like that. There is a New York Post. There's no, I don't think, the New York Daily Post.
You remember
they took the Daily News and the New York Post and made one thing out of it.
When I read that, I didn't realize they had kind of planned it already, because even remember the final line of the final episode?
The final line, okay. All right. I'll say no.
No, McConaughey shows up. Yeah, no, she looks right at the camera and she goes, "Well, maybe it's not the end. Maybe it's a whole new beginning. You never know."
Right.
And because in that episode, they talk about how she's going to go to New York and do the internship, which was the premise of I guess there's 2 episodes they shot. They tried to sell the sequel series to HBO. That was the idea. HBO ended up passing. So I guess it aired on Nickelodeon as a TV movie.
Right. Yeah. It's
called,
Robert Klein was going to be the newspaper editor. The comedian,
okay.
Robert Klein.
Yeah. It was called Clarissa, Take My Brother, Please.
Oh, my God.
So I guess he went to New York with her. I don't know how that works, but...
Oh, no.
Or maybe it's like leading up to her going to New York. I don't know, but... Well, we got to touch on the theme song because you love the theme song so much.
Oh, yeah, I really love that one. Help me, Spock.
Na, 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 na,
Yeah, done by Rachel Sweet.
Is she done anything else we know?
Let's see. Let's see. She began her singing career at the age of 3, and she won an electric garage door opener in a local talent contest after singing "I'm a Little Dutch Girl." I kid you not, I just read that. It's like, oh, okay. All right.
You might be surprised to know that the most prominent director, with only 12 episodes though, actually directed a lot of stand-up comedy specials for people like Ari Spears, Sinbad, Frank Caliendo, Alonzo Bowden, Steve Harvey, Jamie Foxx. He also directed with sitcoms 5 episodes of Living Single, 3 episodes of Martin, and 9 episodes of The Cosby Show.
Damn. Okay.
The main writer... there was no picture, but I think it's a woman, Nina Beber or Bieber. I'm not sure how to pronounce it. She wrote 5 episodes of Daria. She wrote the film How to Deal with Mandy Moore. She wrote a bunch of random Little Bear movies and TV things.
Could she tell me how to deal with?
Yeah. And she was I guess started as a researcher for the Late Night Show with David Letterman. So
wow. Okay.
There are some people who did a lot of things we love on this show.
Right.
Just,
that come from the show or...
Yeah.
But, yeah, it's a show.
They needed the money, so their agent said, just do it.
No, they sang it to them. But, yeah, this was our first teen sitcom.
I'm gonna make you do more, so don't get too excited that it's over. We'll be doing the Boy Meets Worlds and that kind of shit. Hey,
okay.
Dude, salute your shorts. Oh yeah, we'll be doing them. Don't you worry.
Oh God. I'll be sure to drink heavily for each of those.
Uh-huh.
The group Mindless Self-Indulgence referred to the show in their song Clarissa from their album Frankenstein Girls Will Seem Strangely Sexy.
That is a cool name. I've never heard anywhere else.
Yeah, that is like actually cool. But
I'm surprised there's not a Kardashian with Clarissa with a K.
Yeah, I think one of the ones here on that Melissa and Joey. On the show, there's a character that has a blog entitled "Lennox Explains It All."
I think that's her. I think the premise of that show was, I think her sister dies or something, and she gets her 2 kids.
Oh, okay.
And actually, the niece on there, which is the Lennox, I believe, I think that's the girl. She's actually was the daughter on Kevin James' other sitcom, Kevin Can Wait.
Oh, okay.
I think she actually left Melissa and Joey to do Kevin Can Wait, if I remember right.
Oh, wow. Okay. Gotcha.
Oh, they fucked. I can't wait to do that show. They fucked that wife over on there, that first wife. Killed her right off after 1 season and brought in fucking Leah Remini.
Yeah,
like, hey.
King of Queens 2, Electric Boogaloo.
Only not good, so. Yeah.
But, okay, so back to, I guess, the list. We have watched, this is our 37th, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Can
you believe it?
Where do you think I put it on the list?
I think you put it at the bottom of the list, but...
Okay, it is not the worst show on my list. I'll say that.
Well, 8 Simple Rules is worse.
Yeah. So, yeah, I put it right above it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Again, for what it is, it's good, but it's as an adult hard to watch.
I have it at 32 out of 37 for me. I do have a few shows under it. I think that what this show tries to accomplish, it does.
Mm-hmm.
I can look at it and go, it's not for us now.
No.
I have below it that 80s show, Partners, Head of the Class, My Wife and Kids, and 8 Simple Rules.
Okay.
Because sure, there will be days where I might go, I'd rather rewatch an episode of Head of the Class than Clarissa Explains It All.
Mm-hmm.
But I still think that those shows were very sloppy in what they were trying to do. Whereas at least this one, it's laser focused at something that we don't really appreciate anymore.
Mm-hmm.
But the others weren't laser focused at fucking all, right?
Right. No, I got you. Again,
So-
taking a show like Partners where you have two, comedy royalty, and it's like, how'd you mess that one up?
And we were like, one episode made us laugh out of 10 or 10, right?
Yeah, it was the, okay, if it gets past 10, then you get the full order.
Now, yeah, but I wouldn't say this is a bad show. It's just not a show for us now.
Right.
So,
And then that's, for me, why it's rated where it is. But, again, it's still above 8 Simple Rules.
but I still have fond memories of watching it, and I still remembered a lot of moments when I go, oh, that was hidden in there somewhere. You watch a show that you haven't seen in 30 years, all of a sudden, there are little moments you go, oh, I remember that. Like that Clifford character. He was back in the back of my head somewhere, and I didn't remember even what show he was from, but then he pops up on here, and I go, oh, I remember that guy.
God. Yeah, that's the one she dates short for a little bit.
Yeah, he was like a bully at first or something, and yeah.
She stood up to him, and then they dated for a short bit.
Yeah. So.
But,
did we explain it all?
I guess that explains it all.
Na 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 na.
No!
Dude, I still love that theme song. I didn't skip it once. I still was like na 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 na.
I let it go for
all right.
I let it go for 2 episodes, and then I remembered, oh crap, skip.
Kind of interesting. They never reshot it. It was the same one throughout, huh?
Yeah.
They never usually they'll at least change
Update
the
it or
visuals.
something, yeah.
Yeah. They never did.
Nope.
Well, all right. Where can they find us on the interwebs, my friend?
Well, you could find us, if you're watching us live on Twitch, it's, It's twitch.tv/BidwellFog for Jay, and it's twitch.tv/NetNick191 for me. They can find us at Facebook/Sitcom My Face. They can also find us on YouTube. Yeah, check out some of our clips and check out some of our shows. You can sample them both. On your favorite podcast app, you can find us there. And what is your Twitter there, Jay?
At BidwellFog. And don't forget, we have the new blog, Jay and Nick, Clarissa's biggest fans. We're starting the new podcast. The new podcast where we're actually going to deep dive into every single episode of this show.
That's where you deep dive into the episode of the show, and I deep dive into a swimming pool filled with double-edged razor blades.
Piranhas. We're going to do full-length audio commentaries for all 64 or 65 or 66 or 67 or 78 episodes, however fucking many there are.
It's like, you'll be explaining things, and I'll be going...
Piranha sucking on his lip. Oh, boy. Yeah. Find us, kids. Just find us. You'll find us.
Yeah, you'll find us. Hey, if there's something that you want to hear, like a show that you want us to watch or discuss with us, hey, let us know.
Every Nickelodeon show ever made.
No. And hey, if you want to get in contact with us, There's that old-fashioned thing called email that you can get us at sitcommyface@gmail.com.
Yes. I think that y'all should be really good in Sitcom My Face.
Good night.
Good night.
No, no,
Na
no,
na
no,
na
no.
na 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 na. All right.